So welcome, lovelies, back to your mat, and just starting wherever you're most comfortable. Listen to your body today, and if you've got a few aches and pains that you're not used to and you need to lie down or sit, that's fine. And just checking in with how you're feeling within yourself today. Has your mind been very busy, overloaded, stimulated? And this will be a welcome break to just settle a little bit. The thoughts will dissipate as you tune into yourself. Have a moment to scan through yourself from head to toe. And just acknowledging, even if it's repeating the acknowledgement of where you need to be gentle today, whether it's knees, hips, back, shoulders. We all have these little parts of our body that perhaps aren't all entirely balanced. And we know they're there, but we can often forget them in our day-to-day busyness. So just a reminder, I need to be more careful with this or that. Perhaps it's a nicer way to say I need to be more loving with this part of my body. Checking in with how your breath feels and rooting down. What do you need from your practice today? And does that answer immediately come to mind? I just need a rest. I just need some me time. I just need some mental space. Or does it take you a little while to think, what do I need? And neither is right or wrong. It's always nice to work with a sankalpa. You may have heard me mention this word a few times. A sankalpa is like a personal statement, like an affirmation, an I am statement perhaps. One of my favourites that I always use is I am always well. It can be anything. I'm happy, I'm grateful, and it might change depending on how you're feeling in a certain day, or you might just have one that you always sort of stick with. Perhaps all is well. Just think of one now as we start our practice, and we can just let this marinade in our mind as we continue with our yoga. So if you're lying down, just have a little stretch. Maybe hug the knees in. And then shortly joining me in seated position for some quiet meditation to start with. I think today we'll just have a quiet meditation, just purely following our breath. Nothing to distract us other than our own thoughts. So just coming up to seated. And then we'll take 5 minutes. Comfortably rest your hands in your lap in Dhyana Mudra. A nice sort of comfortable extension to your spine. Let your eyelids close. And then simply just try to stay following your breath whenever your mind wanders off, just returning back. Relax your shoulders and face if you just notice as you sit here that they're a bit tense. And then just following that inhale and exhale. Notice where your thoughts are. And just returning to your breath if your mind has wandered. Witnessing where your thoughts are. Taking one more breath. And then gently coming back from that lovely quiet practice. Something I'm reminded of, actually, just as I came towards the end of that, was something somebody shared with me recently as a social media clip of a lady speaking about something her yoga teacher had highlighted to her, which stayed with her, actually. You often hear me talk about satya, which means truth, and ahimsa, non-harm. But another one of the yamas, which are sort of disciplines in life, is Asteya, which is non-stealing. And in the obvious sense, it's a moral not to take from somebody else something that isn't yours. But another way of thinking about this is time and stealing your present moment. When your mind drifts off into the future and worries about things, or is concerned, or doesn't know how things will turn out, or your mind drifts back to the past, unpleasant things, or even happy memories, you're not in the present moment. And her point of view was that you're actually stealing from your present, the only moment that you really have, because you're either replaying past or you're concerned or fretting or worried about the future. So the time that we have in meditation, or the quiet times we have on our mat where we can be present, we are practicing Asteya. So just a lovely little share with you, and if I can find the little clip, I will share that with you as well, because it's very, very powerful to think of these things and what our yogic philosophy that actually does extend into every minute of our day, of our lives. So joining me into dragonfly for our first pose. So I'm going to leave that little thought with you through this practice on the mat today. And when you notice your mind drifting from anywhere other than where you are now, you might think, oh, I'm stealing from my present moment, from myself. So, dragonfly, lovely posture, nice gentle opening on the hips, nothing too intense, and a gorgeous stretch on the inner leg where we're going to be stimulating the liver, kidney and spleen. Just ever so gently explore this pose. The time that we take here will gently soften your body, and you might feel a little bit of space to move into. So trying to relax your legs, your ankles, your knees. Just check in if there's a lot of tension around the upper back and shoulders. And then gently, with some lovely deep belly breaths, we can lean into this slowly. Staying in your present moment, just observing everything you feel. Notice what you're thinking about. Drawing your awareness to the sensations in your body will keep you in the now. Following your breath, softening into the pose a bit more. Just keep looking through your body for anything else you can relax. That will keep you quite present. Rechecking through your legs, shoulders and arms. Always returning to that breath in, breath out. Just check to see if there's a little bit more space to move. Noticing how it feels one side of your body to the other. And then we'll just take one more breath. Nice slow lift up out of the pose, and then coming onto your back into Shavasana, neutral spine. Relaxing. Just moving your body ever so gently, rock the pelvis, wag your tail if you need to just find a comfortable spot. And then just let everything soften. Follow the chi through your body. Follow your breath. And just in those quiet moments, check in where your thoughts are. And then gently just draw the right knee in and the left knee. We're going to come into bridge pose next, supported bridge. So you just need one yoga block. So taking your block, either having it on the top height, or if you're just feeling a little bit, you just need to be more gentle today than taking it down onto that lower level, whichever you feel like. Sometimes I try the top one and then think, no, I need to lower down. So bringing your feet to your buttocks, just maybe raising a little bit on your toes so that you can place the block just on that little flat part of the sacrum area there. That area just sort of in line with the top of the buttocks. And as I always say, not ever encroaching in onto the lumbar vertebrae. You would know because it would feel uncomfortable. And then from here, just trying to relax. Release the tension in your muscles. And I often find it's inner thighs and buttocks that are the areas that I have to return to, and the upper back and shoulders area as well. And keep rotating your awareness to the particular spots you find in your body that always just sort of tense up without you realizing. Lovely pose for your throat, heart, solar plexus. Also quite a rooting pose. And sacral. Keep relaxing the buttocks if you find that you're tensing. And as you settle into this pose, you can really enjoy following your breath. The lovely lift in your belly as you inhale, and really feeling it drop back to the spine on the exhale. So how does this pose feel for you today? At any time that you need to come out, please do. If you feel like you need to lower down, then that's always an option too. Check in through your neck area, whether the chin can just drop a little and you enjoy that stretch in the upper back, neck area. And then we'll just gently take a few more breaths. As you come out of this pose, just lift onto your toes, just so that you can remove the block and slowly come down. And allowing everything to settle to your mat. Perhaps you can feel the sort of after effect of where the block was pressing against the back. It might feel a little bit tingly. Perhaps it feels quite nice and freed up in the lower back now as well. So again, are you in your present moment? And we'll gently draw the right knee in. First of all, then the left knee, just so you support your lower back and core. Gently rocking. And we're going to come into twisted roots. So a two-sided pose, a twist. And with all of these poses, if it doesn't suit you, please always choose something that you know you can do. So for this pose, I do like to use a cushion to rest the knees on one side. And I also have a little blanket handy for the opposite shoulder. We're going to take knees over to the right-hand side first. So lying down, bring your left leg over your right, so crossing legs, and then just gently rolling over, or I tend to sort of lift my body a little and roll over. Just take a few moments to position any support you need behind your shoulder, and then you can really just allow yourself to then relax. Sometimes it takes a little while when you come into these deeper stretches to let everything relax. So just with the breath, starting to soften. Releasing whatever tension you might notice on the inner thighs, calf muscles. And it's lovely when you settle into this pose and you come to stillness. Just close the eyes, breathe. It's nice to notice how the breath moves your body. Starting to feel that lovely twist, stretch in the side of your body, around the left buttock and thigh. How do you feel in this pose today? There's times we'll come into it and you'll just feel like you're constantly fidgeting. And then other times you'll just really sink into it and enjoy surrendering to it. See if you can relax a little bit more through the head or neck if you need to. And then one more breath here. Very slowly coming out. Perhaps uncross the legs and then start to lift them up to center. And just finding a nice neutral spine, enjoying whatever you feel, wherever you're feeling it in your body. A lovely stimulation for the digestive system and your immune system. Noticing the very different sensations that you get from the left side of your body to your right side. And then we'll draw the knees in. Enjoy a nice rock here before we come into the other side of the twist. Rolling a little bit on your back. Again, you can just sort of feel the outer edges of your back and the sensations of stretch. And so now we'll come into the other side. I've taken the cushion over to the left side by my knees and a little rolled up blanket for the right shoulder. Bring your right leg over your left, just crossing and then rolling over. Take a few moments to position your props. And then relaxing. It always takes a few breaths to let everything kind of find its end position. Relax. Let go of tension on the inner thighs, the backs of the thighs, calf muscles. Relaxing maybe around the lower back, side of the waist, any tension in the buttocks. And then following your breath as you breathe into belly, movement up into the chest. Keep relaxing. You might even notice you're tight in your abdominal muscles. Notice your thoughts. Are you present? Do your thoughts drift to the past or future? And as you rest in this posture, perhaps you might find that you can remove a prop from the shoulder or adjust in any way for a little bit more stretch. And then we'll take one more breath. Slowly unwinding yourself from this twisted roots and coming onto your mat. So nice neutral spine. How do you feel? Where are you enjoying that balance now in the body? This is a wonderful, twists are always wonderful for your solar plexus. If you're feeling a little bit low or down on yourself, just check in whether a twist, just very kind of almost unconsciously or very subtly, just gives you a little boost, a personal boost to your personal power. And then we'll bring our knees in. Have a nice gentle rock here. We're going to come up next into heart bench. So we've had a nice curve into the spine with bridge, so opening up through the upper back. If that's too much for you today, I'll always, it's lovely to come into bench as well. Just listen to your energies. So rolling up. If you come into bench, the softer version, we take a pillow and lie back over it. The pillow is a few inches from your body, but if you would like to come into heart bench, 2 blocks you'll need. One block is upright for resting the head. The other block aligns along the spine on the lower level. And then we just start to rest ourselves back. Take a few moments here, because you may find, like I am doing now, is there's just a little bit of an adjustment where you want that block. Don't have it too low. That lower edge of the block is where you'll feel most of it. And it's sort of just resting behind the heart area. So please always do take a few moments to position it up or down a little bit, wherever you find it can be most comfortable eventually. Let the chin drop down, nice length in the neck, and relax. I do find once you're familiar with this pose, it's a very familiar feeling. And often a welcome feeling. So, staying in your present, follow your breath. As you take this moment to be present with your body, take the opportunity to notice how your heart energy feels. Whether you're feeling quite open-hearted today, or the opposite, quite close-hearted. There's another lovely expression, half-hearted. So just observing perhaps where you feel you are today. As you rest here, you might think of all the other expressions linked with the heart that you may have come across. Cold-hearted, warm-hearted. And where they may come from, and whether you can identify at some point in your life whether you've understood or felt these expressions of the heart. Try to visualize a beautiful, pure white light in your heart center, almost like a field of light rather than a ball of light. And it's really lovely to, while your eyes are closed, just imagine that field of light, it just extending outwards to everyone that you want to envelop with love and compassion. And what's always lovely is we probably think of our loved ones first of all, but if we have that capacity to extend that lovely field of white light to all beings on earth, whether they've lost their way or not. It's a lovely feeling to hold. So one more breath. Gently lifting your head and using your arms to support your body. Come up slowly, moving the blocks. And then resting down just to feel whatever you feel. Some days that pose will feel more potent than others. Perhaps your heart energy will need that position. Have a nice sigh, release. It's interesting to observe after heart bench and working with this area of the body, whether you notice you're tuned in more to your feelings rather than to a mental dialogue. So let's bring these in. Give yourself a hug. And then finally we're going to come into waterfall, one of my favourite ending poses. Grab a cushion. If you've got a blanket handy, you can pop it over your feet. The cushion is to just pop under the buttocks. It's just a nice little wedge to support yourself in this pose. And then, if you have a little blanket, you can create your own waterfall. Raise the legs. Keep your feet warm. And then just enjoying this very restful inversion. Let your neck and head feel comfortable. Gaze towards your third eye, Ajna. And I'd like you to just invite the idea of a crystal residing here. Imagine that you have a clear quartz crystal just resting on your third eye. Following your breath. Nice, deep, soft, gentle breaths. How comfortable in this moment are you with yourself? Many people aren't comfortable with their own company. They need music, they need television, company, all sorts of other distractions from just being in the moment. So anybody that can actually be comfortable with their own space and time is very lucky. And I think sometimes the more that we do this, the more we do almost crave the beauty, that stillness that comes with just being with ourselves. Notice if uncomfortable thoughts come up or sad thoughts. This is fine. This is all part of being able to be you. A phrase that comes to mind is that whenever we're healing something, there's no way around it. You have to go through it. That's the healing itself, isn't it? To go through something and come out the other side. So we'll just gently start to bend the knees, lower the feet down. Pull the cushion away. Come into Shavasana just for a few moments to observe the feelings. Relax. Just notice if your body is feeling very nurtured and cared for in this moment. Like you've actually given some attention to yourself, to the you that is of now, your childhood self, all the levels that make you. And then we'll come into relaxation. So if you want to come to seated, you can do. If you just want to have a little rock and then lie back down again, just whatever feels right. As long as you're comfortable. Nice and warm. Make a nice little nest around yourself. So have a few moments just to put everything in place. Relax your eyes. your eyelids. Soften through your forehead, your head and scalp. Notice if you can relax the muscles of your cheeks, your lips and chin and jaw. All around the neck and throat. Just allowing the shoulders to soften and relax away from the ears. Arms all soft down to hands and each fingertip and thumb tip. Gentle breaths, and then softening the front, sides and back of your body. Relaxing buttocks and pelvis and hips. All down the legs to each one of your 10 toes. I'm going to draw your awareness back to the theme of Asteya, non-stealing, which I mentioned earlier, about drifting into the past and the future does steal a little bit from your present moment. It's completely natural and often will happen, but it's nice just to be aware that it is sort of robbing you of where you are in the moment. I'd like you to think maybe of other ways that, beyond stealing from somebody else, a thing, that Asteya perhaps turns up in life. If we eat the wrong things, the things we know that are naughty, ultra-processed foods, lots of excessive sugar, and not getting enough lovely healthy vegetables and natural food, whole food, that is also a sense of stealing. You're stealing from your health in the years to come. If we don't drink enough water and keep ourselves hydrated, you could think that we're stealing from the health of our kidneys and certain internal organs that need water and hydration. Perhaps the quality of our skin as we grow older and age. If we're excessive in other toxins, alcohols, although time to time they're fine, but anything in excess could be stealing from the health of our liver, contribute to all sorts of other things that reduce our lifespan. And now think about perhaps how you are affected by other people and their Asteya, or stealing. People can steal your time without realising. They take up a lot of your time. Perhaps you'd had planned for something else. And that's fine if you're that compassionate self and you want to give. People can steal your energy. There is a phrase known as energy vampires, and we all know people, or we've come across people in our life where we feel drained after we've been with them. They don't know that they're doing it. It is an energetic exchange where they need you and absorb your energies to fuel themselves. So I'm just going to leave you a few more moments just to observe where stealing or non-stealing comes into your daily life. So as you have a few more quiet moments, another one that I will share with you that was told to me a long time ago is how when we're late, that is also stealing from perhaps another person's schedule, their timeline, their energy as well. So another one to ponder when we may be running late. Sometimes we can't help it, other times we can. And just to observe that being on time is not stealing from another's energy in some strange way. So gently, when you're ready, just start to bring your awareness back to your body, back to your breath. Deep inhale, nice slow exhale. Wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe rock the head from side to side. Just feel the range of motion there. And then a full body stretch if you're lying down, or even if you're seated, you can just stretch in whatever way feels good. And then in your own time, you can hug knees in and take a nice rock and eventually roll up to seated. I've left you with a few thoughts today. As you go through your day, it's nice to bring your yogic philosophy into, oh, I might be doing that, or I might be doing that. Where is my satya and ahimsa and asteya in my day-to-day life? So coming to seated, having another moment just to mentally root down, and we can draw hands to heart center. Om Shanti. Namaste.